Let's work through an example problem using FIFO. So Artichokes R Us uses a perpetual inventory system. Then we have some information here about some transactions. On June 1st, we had a beginning inventory of 10 units at $5 a piece. On June 5th, we made a purchase. We bought more units. We bought 15 units at $6 a piece. On June 10th, we sold 10 units. On June 12th, we purchased 20 more units at $8 a piece. And then on June 28th, we sold 25 units. So using FIFO, using first in, first out, we need to find the cost of goods sold and ending inventory. So we are going to write it all out. That way we can keep it organized throughout this problem. So the very first piece of information that we were given is that on June 1st, we had 10 units at $5 a piece. So under beginning inventory, we write 10 at $5 equals $50. So we take our number of units, 10, and multiply it by our unit cost of 5 to get that 50. We also want to write that same thing down under ending inventory because that was our ending inventory on June 1st. Then on June 5th, we made a purchase. We bought 15 more units. This time, each of them cost $6. So 15 times 6 gets you 90. And if we head over to ending inventory, we still have those 10 units at $5 a piece. So we want to make sure that we write that out again. So that way we know which units came in first and which ones came in last. So after we write out those 10 units at $5 a piece, we write these new 15 units that just came in at $6. So then on June 10th, we made a sale. So things are a little bit different when you make a sale. Since we are using FIFO, the first inventory that came in will be the first inventory out the door. So the first inventory that came in were those units at $5 a piece. So we are going to sell all 10 of those here on June 10th. So we write that under our cost of goods sold column. Then over under ending inventory, we notice we don't have those units at $5 a piece anymore because we just sold them. So now we just have these 15 units at $6. So we write that out as our ending inventory. Now on the 12th, we made another purchase. So under the purchases column, we write 20 at $8 equals $160. And then over for our ending inventory, we still have those 15 units at $6 a piece. So we write those out. And then we write underneath that these new units that we just purchased. So that's when we write out our 20 units at $8 a piece equals $160. Now, on June 28th, we made another sale. We sold 25 units this time. Remember, we're still using FIFO, so the first units that came in are the first ones that go out. So, since we need to sell 25 units, they're going to have to come from two different inventory groups, two different costs. So the first group that came in were those at $6. So we are going to sell all 15 units that we have at $6 a piece. So those are being sold. But in order to sell a total of 25 units, we need to sell an additional 10 on top of that 15. So that 10 comes from our inventory group at $8 a piece. So under cost of goods sold, we have 15 units at $6 and then 10 units at $8. That leaves us in our ending inventory with just 10 units remaining at $8 a piece. So now we can calculate our cost of goods sold. So we are just looking at our cost of goods sold column right now. And we see that we made sales worth $50, $90, and $80. So we get those numbers from there. Our cost of goods sold is just adding up those three numbers. And when you do that, you get $220. So our cost of goods sold in this problem is $220. Now, ending inventory, we take a look at our last day. So here on June 28th, we go over to the ending inventory column and we look at the total value of our inventory. And that's how we find this $80.